Hey guys, welcome to TheStrawhatNO, and welcome to Pikmin 1!
Hooray! You know, we actually did this before.
Yeah, we did! If you were around 9 years ago, I'm sorry, but
And you weren't, but
I was not, but I am now. Consider this to be an anniversary Let's Play. Pikmin 1 was the very first game that I, Mugiwara Yoshi, Let's Played 9 years ago when I was, I want to say 15, just turning 16 around there. And, it ended up being one of the Let's Plays that never carried over because we used to upload a lot of our videos on Blip, and so the rest of those videos got uploaded there where nobody saw them. I'm kinda glad that Blip ended up dying, so that way I can give you a much higher quality and better quality Let's Play in general.
yeah, the original attempt was... That was the first time that Yoshi and I did a Let's Play just ourselves, because we used to be on a different channel with a group, but that one was the first time just us two.
Mm-hmm. Because this is the first Pikmin game, this game was originally released in 2001 for the GameCube. The version I will be playing will be the same version I played 9 years ago, the Wii new Play Control Pikmin, which allows me to use the Nunchuck and Wiimote, and it also gives me more range. And it's the introduction to, honestly, a pretty good franchise. The first game is pretty rough, and it even starts with, in my opinion, probably the darkest story.
Yeah, there's something somber about the first game. It is amusing that Olimar, I think he saw the meteor coming towards him, but he still drove right into it.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Olimar, he's been probably flying without sleeping for a while, and he accidentally turned off his autopilot, and he just didn't see it, or he was just like, oh thank god, a meteor, and he just directly crashed into it.
Finally an excuse. Uh-oh, I'm on life support now.
So, as Olimar states, because we're going to get a lot of his monologue in Pikmin 1, he crash lands his toy Lego ship onto this planet, and he has 30 days worth of oxygen to get all the ship parts back.
Dolphin named after the working title for the GameCube.
That's true. The SS Dolphin. So, I originally planned this to be a 6-day run, but during my attempts I found this to be extremely difficult, and I highly don't recommend it unless you're gonna speedrun that game, as in actually be a speedrunner. So this will be a more casual playthrough, but I'll still be using all the tips and tricks that I know, and I'm still gonna aim for as minimal, the least amount of days possible. It's already looking like 8 to 10 in-game day run. If you recall, if you're coming here from Pikmin 3, when you leave a Pikmin inside the ground, and you just kind of let time pass by, their leaves become flower buds, then they become flowers. It's their evolutionary stage. The reason why I'm doing this here on the impact site is because I have infinite amount of time. There is no sun meter or anything, so I'm basically taking advantage of all the time I have. This is a strategy that's more useful for your 6-day, 7-day run or whatever, because you can absolutely get flowers much easier in the upcoming days. So if anything, this just ends up being a little superfluous, I'll admit. But I just think it's funny that Olimar is basically staring at all these flower stems because it takes 5 real-life minutes for the leaves to turn into flowers. I'm not joking.
No, I mean, I did this too. I recently replayed this. It doesn't benefit much, honestly.
Yeah, it really doesn't. The only advantage I can literally think of is, hey, the couple seconds you get to save if you're going for a fast run for like 6 days, but other than that, it's really not necessary. But hey, if you want to try it, if you got like a podcast to listen to and you got extra time, then yeah, I totally recommend it.
Something that I missed that's in this game that's not in the others, and that since it's just Olimar, he doesn't have anyone else to talk to, this is just his thoughts. He doesn't have anyone talking at him. So it feels more organic compared to, especially Pikmin 2, with that jackass ship.
We'll see later on, but at the end of the days, because usually at the end of the days we'd usually get like a report or a character to talk to. Here we're just getting Olimar's internal monologues. So we get to learn more about what he's actually thinking of his family, his job, his situation. Because Nintendo likes to do silent protagonists. I think it's a really clever way to do it because this man is literally fighting for his life.
Yeah. There are a lot of little differences. I watched ahead in Yoshi's recordings. There are a lot of little differences between the Wii version and the original GameCube version in weird ways, like alongside Olimar's pointer being able to stretch farther because you can use the Wiimote. The Pikmin, when you throw them and they attack, what are they, the candy pop? No, not the candy pop buds, but the flower buds.
The pellet posies.
The pellet posies, thank you. In the original GameCube version, they attack the posy, and then they run back to you. They don't pick up the pellet. In this, they will actually stay behind and then notice the pellet.
That being said, even though this is new play control, and this version was released after Pikmin 2 on GameCube, there are still a lot of quirks involving Pikmin AI, which I'm assuming they couldn't change. They either most likely didn't want to change because they wanted to keep it as authentic as they possibly could, but at the same time, it's just a reminder of, man, it really did get better with 2 and 3.
Your Pikmin will trip a lot, for no good reason.
You thought tripping in Brawl was bad? You have not lived until it's happened in Pikmin.
Look, Sakurai didn't play Pikmin.
Well, I mean, he obviously did, and it took him 3 Smash games to even think about Olimar. It's like, oh yeah, that guy. So yes, I did in fact let my 9 Pikmin suffer pushing a box that they couldn't push until I got like one more, and I didn't pull them out until they became flowers.
You mentioned this in Pikmin 3. The Pikmin think in binary. If you haven't told them to do something else, they're gonna stay and try to do to the detriment of their own health.
And if it's binary in 3, this is like Omega binary. Because you're gonna see a great example of it really soon. It's the little things, but the little things really add up in crucial moments. And it becomes a little annoying when you have to manage a pretty big squad. You mentioned it in 3, where, like, the Pikmin follow closely behind you, and literally directly behind you, so when you actually go to line up and throw one of your Pikmin, you can actually see them all getting ready to stand behind you. Now, on paper back then that was cool, but when you have a giant squad and there's like a specific color you want to use, sometimes when that happens, because of the mishmash of all the Pikmin just squandering around trying to listen to Olimar's orders, you sometimes end up throwing the wrong Pikmin that you didn't want. And that is extremely common and also extremely annoying.
Sometimes, as in every time when I played.
Me too. Another thing that's a little annoying, they just demonstrated that right now, is that when the Pikmin drag something to the onion, they're gonna stare at the onion for an extra, like, 5 seconds for no reason. I'm waiting for those guys to turn to flowers while I go to the engine here. It's annoying because in the other 2 games, once it gets in the onion, you can just whistle them over. You can try whistling them, but they won't respond because they're really, really fixated on the onions. So you kind of have to, at least for this game, a good trick to get around that is to, like, dismiss your Pikmin and then whistle them again quickly.
Same for if they trip.
Yeah, same for if they trip. You're gonna see that. Sometimes I've had Pikmin trip at the same time. I'll turn to the left and I see 3 of them fall on their face, and one of them will slide like a hockey puck all the way across the field.
Yeah, it happens a lot when you direct your Pikmin around. Olimar talks about his family a lot. He especially brings up how his wife just does not trust him.
I mean, I feel a little bit for the wife because she's just like, you work for the worst guy, and he's like, but it's all I know. And she's like, you are the smartest person I know. You could work anywhere. And I choose here. Why? Because it's all I know. But okay. The max amount of Pikmin you can get on the impact site here is 25. So now that I got them all flowered up, we can grab the only thing we possibly can right now, and hopefully try to get the ship to work.
It's quite serendipitous that he landed in the one place with the one part that he actually needs to leave.
Yeah. I mean, if you landed, like, directly into, like, a lake or something. And there is a lake on this map. If he landed right there, he'd die. Like, the game would actually end. But thankfully, he lives in a world with, like, super future technology, because all it takes is one engine to, like, turn the thing right side up. And it can still accept brand new ship parts and just automatically install it onto itself, which I think is pretty helpful.
The Pikmin are immediately like, fuck this.
Yeah. I spent all that time flowering you. I spent 30 real-life minutes. How dare you?
So Olimar's ship has 30 parts that are missing, but only 25 are necessary to actually win the game. There are 5 additional ones, but if you get those extra 5, you get the best ending.
And as per usual, I will in fact be going for the best ending.
I went ahead and recorded the alternate endings for Yoshi. All of them required me just sitting there and waiting for day 30 to reach, because you have a maximum of 30 days before his life support runs out. And the later ones get kind of funny, because he gets a lot more intense. He especially gets angry at his wife at one point. I forgot what it was like, but she was like, man, she always said I never finished anything. When did she become a psychologist?
She always said I never finished anything, so I said, fine, watch this, and I let my life support run out. I finished this, honey! Die! I do like that. I actually do think that that's a really neat benefit the more you play. So, that takes care of the introductory tutorial. Next day, we'll be focusing on the Forest of Hope.
The Forest of Hope is why this isn't the 6-day challenge.
Yeah, that's basically why. See, the thing is, the other areas in the map are doable in one day with enough practice. You don't have to be, like, the best Pikmin player in the world or whatever to clear it in one day. It's certainly possible. We'll get more into it in day 2. But there are some things that you can do only in the Wii version, but it's very minor things. You can complete the game in 6 days in both GameCube and the Wii version. But for Forest of Hope, you basically have to play like a task bot, and if you are off by even like a millisecond in any aspect, you're going to be restarting. I've heard the Forest of Hope theme more times than I'd like to admit. I also, when I was attempting for this to be a 6-day challenge, in one day, because I spent like a week just trying that one map, I spent 10 hours, 10 real-life hours trying to get Forest of Hope in one day, and I wasn't even close. The closest I ever got was 4 parts. And so that's when I decided, you know what, since I'm not having fun, I'm just going to turn this into a regular playthrough. But it's still going to be pretty fast because I know I'm still going to do some pretty nifty things. You'll especially see that in Forest Naval. I kind of like the tutorial a little more here than in the later games, because, well, of course I'm talking about 3. I do like how it's done in 2, because it's like narrative-wise, but the ship is constantly yelling at you. In 3, you have like these new characters trying to get used to and acquainted with the Pikmin, where here, I like that Olimar is the first person discovering it, and because of the way he thinks, he's always jotting down these notes, along with like these little sketches. I like the little layer of giving him more of a character, because they could have very easily just had like a text box appear, like, what's this? You should press A.
Which they do a lot in Pikmin 3.
Yeah, at least the characters themselves are just talking. Alpha's like vocally, I should press the A button. As opposed to like a dialogue box where it's like, what's this? Perhaps you should do that. Fine.
I should press the A button. Then he says to himself, fine.
I should press the A button. It slowly turns to the camera, but I won't. Thanks for your $60. By the way, I'm playing this on Wii U because I don't have my physical disc anymore. Sold it a while ago, but you can download Pikmin 1 and Pikmin 2 New Play Control on the Wii U eShop. It's only like $20 each, I believe.
I imagine it's more fun than playing on the GameCube, because those controls don't hold up well.
Yeah, I only have experience playing Pikmin 2 on GameCube.
But this game is pretty nostalgic for me. It was the first GameCube game I had.
Oh yeah?
Or at least we had rented it when we got the GameCube, but we got the GameCube before we got a memory card, so I couldn't save.
You know, I have a similar thing. My first game was not Pikmin. It was actually Smash Bros. Melee, but I also did not have a memory card. So me and my brother just got used to like unlocking characters and just being like, say goodbye when we turned them. But funnily enough, even back in the day, The reason why I even got Pikmin, like I even bought it, was because I saw a Let's Play for it. There was another Let's Play when I was younger. I forgot who it was, but I'm pretty sure the playthrough doesn't exist anymore, but I saw him play it, and I was like, this game looks really cool. I'm gonna get it. And you know, I was not gonna be a Let's Player at the time. It was just getting it because I thought it looked really cool. And then when FATLPs and the whole history, we had a whole live stream about it. But after that happened, like I decided, yeah, this will be the first game I ever played, and I ended up Let's Playing this game because it was the first game I saw on the shelf.
And you kind of became known for it.
Yeah, I do genuinely like Pikmin, though. I mean, if I hated Pikmin, I wouldn't have played through all 3 games. That being said, Pikmin 1 is extremely rough, and you'll see why. It's got first game written all over it.